Credit.
Boom shakalaka, boom, boom shakalaka, boom shakalaka, boom.
Contained everything I want to know. This comet should be stoked.
Anyways, people, I have some more DC stories, but they are not in my main universe.
Another thing to consider is market saturation.
Superman, the Man of Steel, the President's Shadow, Earth 311221. Metropolis gleamed beneath the morning sun, glass and steel reflecting hope back into the sky. Above it all, a red and blue streak cut through the clouds. Superman, guardian of this world, ever watchful. The first alarm came from the docks. A cargo ship screamed as its hull crumpled inward, metal bending like paper. Standing amid the wreckage was Metallo, his kryptonite heart glowing an ugly green. Superman hit him like a thunderbolt, driving him through stacked containers. But before he could finish the fight, reality itself seemed to warp. A burst of energy slammed into Superman's back. Parasite. The purple-skinned monster latched on, draining solar power in hungry waves. Superman felt his strength falter, just for a second, but that second was enough. Explosions ripped through the dockside warehouses. Laughing? Mechanical. Childlike. Toymen. Drones, oversized jack-in-the-box cannons, and weaponized toys flooded the area. Chaos blooming in bright, grotesque colors. Civilians ran. Sirens wailed. Metropolis was under coordinated attack. That's new, Superman muttered, wrenching Parasite free and hurling him into the bay. These three never worked together. Ever. Superman dismantled Toyman's machines with surgical precision, froze Metallo's limbs solid, and used a carefully timed sonic clap to knock Parasite unconscious before his power drain could become lethal. Within minutes, the threat was neutralized. But the question lingered heavier than the smoke curling into the sky. Why together? The answer came too easily. Back at the Fortress of Solitude, crystalline consoles hummed as Superman reviewed data. Financial transfers, encrypted communications, shell corporations. The trail didn't point to an underworld broker or alien mastermind. It pointed to Lex Luthor. Every weapons upgrade, every resource, every carefully planted opportunity that allowed Metallo, Toyman, and Parasite to cross paths. It all traced back to one man, Lex Luthor. President of the United States. Superman stood silently, fists clenched. He could hear Lex's voice in his head, calm and smug. I don't need to defeat you, Superman. I just need to expose the world to its dependence on you. Later that night, Superman hovered above Washington, D.C., watching the White House from miles away. He could hear the heartbeat inside. Calm, confident, untouchable. Lex Luthor stood behind the law now, behind the system. Any move Superman made against him would be seen not as justice, but as tyranny. You've built yourself a perfect shield, Superman said softly, though he knew Lex couldn't hear him. For now, Superman turned back toward the stars, cape billowing behind him. He would stop Metallo, he would stop Toyman, he would stop Parasite. And one day, when the truth could no longer be buried, he would stop Lex Luthor too. Because even presidents cast shadows, and Superman never stops watching the dark.
Here's what most bellies look like immediately following birth and how long it takes for the uterus to return to its normal size.
So, Mom, how do you feel about Lex Luthor being the president of the United States in my second universe?
I don't think so. He'd ruin the United States like Trump is.
You don't want a narcissistic, rich guy who hates an alien and does multiple illegal dealings and a couple times team up with the Joker to be president? Reasonable. I mean, that last part should be a reason anyways. He teamed up with the Joker. No one in their right mind does that. And most of the time he's doing it just because Superman took his hair away. I'm not kidding. In the older comics, Lex Luthor became a villain because when Superman was going by Superboy as a child, Lex accidentally started a chemical fire as a kid, and they were friends until this happened. And when Superman saved him, Lex's hair was burnt off. And that's why he became a villain originally.
Oh, so you're saying I'm not a normal female?
going to take time for it to find its way back.
The Flash number 1. Fast enough. Earth 31-2021. Central City never really slept. It just vibrated at a lower frequency. Barry Allen felt it every second of every day. The hum of traffic, the buzz of neon signs, the rhythm of millions of heartbeats all stacked on top of each other. To everyone else, it was noise. To the Flash, it was a song. The song went out of tune when every speaker in the city screamed at once. Car alarms wailed in perfect unison. Phones vibrated themselves off tables, windows rattled. Somewhere downtown, steel bent with a shriek of tortured sound. Barry sighed, already pulling on the red suit as he ran. "Let me guess," he muttered. "Pipes. Bad attitude. Way too much confidence." Pied Piper stood atop a parking garage, cloak fluttering, sonic flute raised like a conductor's baton. Waves of sound rolled outward, precise and devastating. Police cruisers were flipped by resonance alone. Officers clutched their ears, helpless. The Flash appeared in a crack of thunder, skidding to a stop inches from Piper. "Hey, Hartley," Barry said cheerfully. "You know, noise complaints are kind of my thing." Pied Piper sneered and played a sharp note. The sound hit like a physical wall. Barry vibrated. His molecules phased just enough for the sonic blast to pass through him, shattering concrete behind him instead. Barry was already moving, circling Piper faster than the eye could track, creating a vortex that bent the sound waves back on themselves. "You don't get it," Piper shouted, adjusting his frequency. "This city listens to you, but it ignores me." Barry slowed just long enough to look him in the eye. "You want to be heard? This isn't how." Piper unleashed one final note, tuned to Barry's own heartbeat. Barry stumbled, just for a fraction of a second. That was all Piper needed, until Barry was gone. In less than a microsecond, Barry disassembled Piper's tech piece by piece, scattering components across the rooftop like confetti. The flute went silent. Pied Piper collapsed to his knees, stunned. Police arrived moments later, the world snapping back to normal speed. As the sun rose over Central City, Barry stood atop a nearby building, hands on his hips, watching order return. Another villain stopped. Another day saved. On Earth 31-2021, the world had its monsters, its presidents with secrets, its shadows and capes and cowls. But as long as Barry Allen could run, he'd keep things moving forward.
Do we have anything I want after I pop game?
And then we get a team up story. And then a lot of Batman.
JLA number 1, Star City, Earth 31-2021. Star City was burning, not from fire, but from chaos. A sonic shockwave ripped down the waterfront, shattering windows and tossing cars like toys. Count Vertigo hovered above the street, laughing as his device twisted balance and perception into weapons. Below him, the ground war was already lost. KG Beast moved like a tank through police barricades, armored fists smashing cruisers aside. The Crumbler, Alexander Tuttle, tore chunks of concrete from the street and hurled them with terrifying precision. And weaving through it all was Doppelganger, shifting, splitting, becoming 2, 3, 4 identical combatants, each striking from a different angle. At the center of it stood Aquaman and Black Canary, and even they were being pushed back. Aquaman drove his trident into the asphalt, summoning a surge of water from ruptured mains, slamming Doppelganger copies into nearby buildings. Black Canary followed with a canary cry that sent Vertigo spiraling backward mid-air. But it wasn't enough. KG Beast caught Aquaman with a brutal shoulder check, sending him skidding through a bus stop. The Crumbler brought both fists down, cracking the street like glass. Vertigo adjusted his device again, and suddenly the world tilted. Black Canary dropped to one knee. "Okay," she muttered into her calm, forcing herself upright. "I officially hate teamwork shortages. Ollie, now would be a great time." Across the city, Green Arrow didn't hesitate. He fired a grappling arrow and launched himself off a rooftop, already speaking into another secure line. "Bruce, Star City, full-scale mess, bring the scowl." There was only a pause. Then, "On my way."
Not the scowl.
Minutes later, the night split open. An arrow exploded at KG Beast's feet, magnetic clamps locking his legs together. Another arrow detonated Vertigo's device mid-spin, sending him crashing into a billboard. Green Arrow landed beside Black Canary. "Miss me?" She smiled despite the bruises. "Took you long enough." A shadow dropped behind them. Batman. No announcement. No theatrics. Just presence. 4 targets, Batman said calmly. 1 illusionist, 1 enhanced brute, one destabilization expert, one demolition meta. Aquaman rose to his feet, gripping his trident. Then let's end this. Batman vanished into smoke. Doppelganger turned, too late. A batarang disrupted the duplications, forcing the copies to collapse back into one disoriented form. Batman struck fast and silent, pressure points dropping Doppelganger before he hit the pavement. Green Arrow and Black Canary moved together like they'd never stopped being a team. Canary's sonic scream staggering the thing, the crumbler just long enough for Ollie to fire a concussive arrow straight into his chest. Tuttle went down hard, concrete dust settling around him. KG Beast roared and charged Aquaman. Aquaman met him head-on. Steel clashed against Atlantean might. With a final surge of strength, Aquaman slammed KG Beast into a flooded trench, electricity from a bat gadget crackling through the water. KG Beast went still. Vertigo tried to flee. Batman was already there. One punch, one grapple, one zip line to a waiting police transport. Silence fell over Star City. Emergency lights flashed. Villains were cuffed. Civilians emerged from hiding. 5 heroes stood together in the aftermath. Green Arrow looked around, impressed. You know, this worked a little too well. Batman's cape shifted in the breeze. Threats are escalating. They always do. Aquaman nodded. Individually, we hold the line. Together, we change the tide. Black Canary crossed her arms, thoughtful. Sounds like you're talking about something bigger. Batman didn't deny it. Above them, the city slowly healed. On Earth 31122021, heroes had always worked alone. Tonight, that changed. The Justice League of America had taken its first breath.
Now we get a couple about Batman, and then one Nightwing, more Batman, and then at the end, a Batman and Nightwing team up.
Batman, Dying is Easy #1. Prologue, Part 1. Earth 31122021. The Batcave was quiet in the way only deep, ancient places could be, alive, but holding its breath. The Batcomputer's screens glowed blue against the stone walls.
Actually, I'll read this one. The Batcave was quiet in a way only deep, ancient places could be alive, but holding its breath. The Batcomputer screens glowed blue against the stone walls, data streaming endlessly. Bruce stood motionless before it, cape hanging like a shadow torn loose from the night itself, a secure line blink. Okay, blinked. He answered it without turning. Batman. Batman! I'm not wearing hockey pants. You see? Oh, it's Green Arrow talking. I thought Batman was saying, yo, it's Batman. Nope. Batman. Goddamn, I can't do an Arrow voice. That's fine. Batman. Green Arrow's voice came through, rough, but sincere. I'll keep it short. You didn't have to help in Star City, but you did. Black Canary, Aquaman, we'd be dead or locked up if you hadn't showed. Batman said nothing. Green Arrow continued, softer now. So, thanks. Means something to all of us. The line went dead. Batman remained still for a moment longer, then turned back to the screens. One displayed shift, satellite imagery of dense Westlands, life signals pulsing where none should exist. A single name scrolled beneath it. Swamp Thing. Anomaly. And Batman muttered, not hostile, not human. In the background, a television mounted near the cave entrance crackled to life. Breaking news tonight. GCPD confirmed that the vigilante known as Batman apprehended the infamous Catwoman earlier this evening after a high-speed pursuit through Gotham's East End. So what I'm using my Earth 31120214 for is basically for the stories that would not fit in my main universe. I'm also going to make a DC horror universe. Well, a new DC horror universe. Batman didn't look back. Catwoman would escape again. She always does. Another strange change. His crime board. A digital... Hang on.
Constellation.
Constellation of faces, names, and blood red threads connecting them filled the cave. Alfred Stryker. Chemical runoff. Corporate murder transformation. I wanted to use the crime boards for some of Batman's older crimes and other people. So yeah. Red Hood Gang. Ace Chemicals. One man fell. One mistake. One nightmare that hasn't finished being born. Ra's al Ghul. Immortal. Patient. Watching from afar. Batman's jaw tightened. Every failure mattered. Every thread pulled at something deeper. So on here, Batman saying, years since he failed to save Alfred Stryker in this universe. Since in this universe, Stryker would have fallen into the acid like he does in Detective Comics number 27, but this version of Batman would try to save him. With the Red Hood Gang, he knows that Joker, it was the guy in the outfit that night. And with Ra's al Ghul, it's because he... Could be because of any reason, really, for him. Since I didn't really work that much on Ra's for this universe. Or even my main universe. Every thread pulled something deeper. The boys shift again. Now it was Oswald Cobblepot. Technically, his full name is Oswald Chesterfield Cobblepot. The Penguin. Under him, a list of names: soldiers, accountants, enforcers. Clement Cart. Okay, I don't know how to say this character's name. I just found it funny how he went by the villain name, the Squid.
Clement Carp.
Clement Carp, the Squid. But, okay, I know how to... I want to make sure I don't say it right. I mean, wrong.
Actuary.
Okay, I was going to say it right. The Actuary. Jacoboy Vincetti? Okay. Jacoboy... Well, it's Italian, okay, I think.
Vinzetti.
Jacoboy Vinzetti. All of you, Batman said quietly. Night swallowed Gotham hard. Not hard, whole. I mean, the night also swallows it hard. But, I'm tired right now. Batman struck first at the docks. Squid went down streaming, dragging out of the water with ink-stained gloves. Still twitching. Penguin thugs fired wildly, but fear made them sloppy. Batman dismantled them with brutal efficiency. At a money laundering front downtown, God damn it, I just said it, and I just said it.
Actuary.
Actuary tried to bargain. Numbers, percentages, survival odds. Batman gave him none. Bones crack, files seized. In the Narrows, Jacoboy Vincetti ran. He didn't get far. The Penguin's men fell one by one. Smoke, fists, steel shadows. By dawn, squad cars lined the streets. Red and blue lights reflecting off a rain-slick pavement. Blackgate Prison received the newest arrivals in silence. 3 lieutenants gone. Cobblepot's empire bleeding. Batman stood on a rooftop as the sun threatened the horizon. Another night survived. Another war ongoing. He knew better than anyone else. Dying wasn't the hard part. Staying alive, staying human. That was the fight that never ended, and Gotham was only getting started. So, with this first part, the prologue part 1, I just wanted to add on to what this Batman done in this universe. And now part 2 is going to bring in some iconic villains. Batman. Oh god. I'm gonna get a drink and tell the story. Batman Dying is Easy number 2, Prologue Part 2. Rain fell hard over Gotham, washing neon into the gutters. Inside an abandoned school gym, laughter echoed high-pitched, broken wrong. And now we get to the main villain of this storyline. Even though he doesn't have that much screen time, since he only appears in 4 stories. And since number 8 was split into 3 parts, Joker is the main villain of this one. Children were tied to bleachers, terrified, eyes widened as the Joker paced before them. Clapping slowly, theatrically, his grin stretched wider when the doors exploded inward. Batman hit him like a force of nature. The fight was fast, brutal. Joker tried to dance away, tried to joke, tried to perform, but Batman didn't let him. One punch shattered teeth. Another sent Joker skating across the floor. The fuck? Okay, makes sense though. The children were freed within seconds. Joker lay laughing in a pool of rainwater and blood. Oh yeah, I forgot there was a abandoned school gym. Still not smiling, Bats? Oh, Batsy, boy! Yay, that meant I get to do my Joker voice again. He coughed. The Batmobile tore through the street, sirens wailing behind them. As Arkham loomed ahead, Joker leaned back in the seat, shackled, humming to himself before speaking. You know what's funny? He said, chuckling. This reminds me of a joke. Batman said nothing. So, there were these 2 guys locked in a lunatic asylum. One night, they decided they didn't like that anymore. They decide to escape. Joker's eyes glitter. Okay. They make it up to the roof, just across the narrow gap. Rooftop stretching across town towards freedom. Batman's grip tightened on the wheel. The first guy jumps right across. No problem, but his friend, terrified, afraid of falling. So the first guy says, hey, I got this flashlight. I'll shine it across the gap and you walk across the beam. Joker leaned forward, voice dropping, but the second guy says, what do you think I am, crazy? You'll just turn it off when I'm halfway across. Arkham's gates open. Batman didn't respond. He never did. 2 weeks later, a scream echoed through Gotham's underbelly. Batman dropped into an alley to find Man-Bat crouched over a corpse, teeth bared, wings twitching, blood on his claws. The fight was vicious but controlled. Batman stunned him, restrained him, and injected a sedative. Then examined the body. Cold rigor mortis had already set in. This didn't happen here, Batman muttered. And not by him. And not by him. 3 cops had gone missing. This was something else. An apartment across town flickered with a blue glow of a television. Wait. 3 thugs watched the news. On screen, Commissioner Jim Gordon stood at a podium. We will find the 3 missing officers, Gordon said. I promise their families justice. In the apartment, a blonde little girl in a dress sat bound to a chair, silent, eyes fixed on the floor. 1 thug guarded her. Another watched the door from the outside. Apartment number 10-6. The 6 hang lower than the 10. Batman noticed everything. The outside guard never heard him. Inside, the room exploded into motion. Thugs dropped before they could reach their weapons. Batman crossed the room and knelt before the girl, reaching for the knots. The door slammed open. A short man in a top hat burst in, eyes wide. Well, Mad Hatter, Jervis Tetch said. Looks like we have an uninvited guest to the party! Batman stood. You feed on the innocent. He said, voice flat. Hatter backs up, grinning nervously. She's my Alice! She likes it! No more! The fight was over almost instantly. Hatter crumpled, screaming, broken, not dead. Batman didn't care about Hatter's screams. He cared about the girl. He untied her gently, draping his cape around her shoulders. You're safe, he said. It's only 6:20. She nodded, trembling. Outside, sirens grew louder. Batman vanished into the night once more. Joker had taken Barbara's legs, and he had taken Jason Todd's life, and Gotham keeps demanding more. Dying was easy. Living with it, that was the real punishment. Now we get to number 3. With my favorite cop ever. And it's not Jim. Jim's too much of a goody two-shoes. I like Jim, but he ain't my favorite cop on the GCPD. Can you guess who is my favorite GCPD cop, Mom? Yes, Mr. Bullock. Mainly because of the last name, but also because I like his character a lot. 2 months later, Gotham felt heavier. The rain had stopped, but the city still looked soaked in grief. Batman stood beneath an overpass, half shadow, half man. As Harvey Bullock lit a cigarette and glared at him, like he's been forced into this meeting at gunpoint, which in a way he had. You know, Bullock growled, I don't have time to babysit you. Jim's in the hospital, and I got 3 cops still missing. And just because Gordon respects you, doesn't mean I have to. Batman didn't move. That goes both ways. Bullock exhaled smoke through his nose. Figures, so what do you want? Batman tilted his head slightly. You called me. Bullock scowled. The pasty-faced clown is, dying. That got Batman's full attention, but only intriguingly? Okay. I know I sound like a dumbass, but I'm not in the mood Internally. Okay. I told you, I'm not in the mood for Batman's, internal fucking mental crisis he has right now. I forgot I gave him one of those in this story. Anything else? Batman asked.
They're not popular, and I will not have to listen to them anytime soon again.
Hey, most of them are just the fucking AI reading. I'm only doing the Batman ones.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. I don't know why I did that laugh. Anyways, Bullock's mouth twisted into something ugly. Yeah, he's the man to see you. Of course he is. You two spend most of your lives together, right? Thought you might be excited. A little celebration from your side of things. Bullock flicked the cigarette away. I know I can't do a good Bullock, but I'm trying to do like a cop who's corrupted but don't give a fuck, and he's a smoker. Which is what Bullock is. As far as I'm concerned, one of you madness dwellers is getting exactly what he deserves. Batman's voice was flat. The devil the Joker isn't something to celebrate. Bullock snorted. All I'm saying is, somebody should have pulled the trigger on him a long time ago. Batman turned fully towards him now. You're the one with a gun and a license to kill. Bullock stiffed. Okay. Yeah, well, don't take me there. Batman stepped closer, his shadow swallowing Bullock whole. Do it, Batman said quietly. And you'll see how far, and you'll see exactly how deep this well of madness can run. Bullock turned away, jaw tightened. When he turned back, Batman was gone. You should know not to turn away from this man by now. I mean, yeah, I'm writing the story here, but I'm still... Bullock is a dumbass, even when I write him. The Batmobile cut through the city like a blade. Arkham Asylum rose from the fog. What? Spires crawling at the night sky like a monument to failure. As Batman approached the gate, a secure channel opened. Hugo, Batman said, I'm on my way. Transfer the Joker from his cell to the recreation room.
Recreation.
Okay, I was gonna say it correctly, okay? Recreation room. There was a pause, then Hugo Strange's voice answered, calm and clinical. I see you spoke with Lieutenant Bullock. I would have reached out to you personally, but I have no way of contacting you directly. Batman didn't slow, as it should be. Strange's voice lingered a moment longer. The Joker is eager. Batman ended the call. He's like, I don't care what the Joker is. I told you just to move him. No, that's not in the story, Mom. I'm just saying what he's probably thinking right now.
Oh.
And yes, people, I told you the Joker is the main villain of this arc. Even though there's not that much action. That's why I had to add in a Nightwing story. In the 3 Justice League stories above. Since this is a full-on, non-action Batman story. Aside from the part of him beating the fuck out of the people, the Penguin thugs, Man-Bat, Joker, and Mad Hatter in the prologue. Until, like, after the Joker part is over. There's no action. So, I'm gonna hate myself for this. The Batmobile rode to a stop before Arkham's iron gates. Batman looked up at the asylum, at the place where monsters waited to die, and worse, to live. He stepped out into the cold night and walked towards the doors. Batman, dying is easy, number 4. Arkham Asylum swallowed sound. The door shut behind Batman, with a final echoing thud sealing him inside. Gotham's most careful...
Sure, you can call these pieces of white meat chicken.
Okay, I honestly never heard of this word.
Curated.
Curated nightmare.
Welcome back to the Jeebus family, guys.
Fluorescent. Okay, I know what this word is, but I don't know how to pronounce it right now.
Fluorescent.
Fluorescent
I'm excited.
lights flickered overhead as cameras tracked his every step. Monitors across the asylum cracked to life. Hugo Strange appeared on every screen. Hands folded, smile precise. I think that's the word, precise.
Precise.
Okay. You see, this is why I don't like reading people, since I get all fucking nervous. I get all nervous when I have to read. And this is why I mainly have the AI do it. Because I like writing the stories, I just don't like reading them. So I get all nervous. Arkham, attention patients and staff. Strange announced smoothly. Due to the night's code B27, which, yes, that's a reference to Detective Comics number 27. Dinner and all recreational activities will be postponed until further notice. Please remain calm. Order will be maintained. Batman didn't look up. He walked. A soft clicking sound followed him. He passed the cell of Magpie, Margaret Pye. She crouched on the floor, fingers bleeding as she gathered shiny fragments of a broken mirror, cradling them like treasures. Shiny! Shiny! Shiny!
It's a black one, it's a 15, but...
She whispered, rocking back and forth. Batman didn't stop. Okay, Mom, can you... Further down the corridor, shouting erupted. The terrible trio, Fox, Shark, and Vulture... Not Mask. Okay, this messed it up. They were supposed to be metahumans who were transformed into this. Anyways, or maybe that was my original story, I don't remember. But I wanted them to be metahumans who were transformed. But I'm just gonna read it the way it is. Or maybe they had masks and like they get transformed later on. Mask hanging beside their bed. Okay, if you don't know who the terrible trio is, I know of them from the DCAU. And I don't think it was a fox, I think it was a wolf in that, but there is a fox member in like the comics, I believe. Hanging. Why do they have their mask with them? That's evidence. Mom? Mom? Okay. I took the villains, the terrible trio, who are people who wear animal masks. Why are they allowed to keep their masks with them in Arkham? Wouldn't that be police evidence?
Yeah.
Okay, then they shouldn't have them with them in Arkham. Unless they made masks in Arkham. Who knows? Arkham may have an arts and crafts area. Besides, hanging beside their bed, pace their cells like cage animals. In this world, they weren't masterminds. They were teenagers, broken, banded together, branded. Okay, so they still are metahumans, okay. Branded, born this way by Arkham's files. Hey! The fox snapped. You ruined everything. That was our score. The shark growled. The vulture laughed bitterly. All planned, all perfect, then you. Batman passed without a word. A page turned softly. Scarecrow, Jonathan Crane, sat calmly on his cot. Glasses low on his nose, reading the legend of Sleepy Hollow. He didn't look up. Fear, Crane murmured to no one in particularly. is the oldest story we tell ourselves. Batman kept moving. The man sat rigid on his bed. A man sat rigid. Fuck it.
Rigid.
Rigid on his bed. Batman, rigid, sat rigid on his bed, holding a scrap of newspaper. Prometheus. The headline showed two bodies chalked onto pavement. His parents, criminals, executed by police. Gunfire years ago, right in front of him. Prometheus didn't glare. He didn't smile. He just stared at the past, unmoving. Metal clicked. Two-Face Harvey Dent stood at the bars of his cell, flipping his coin again and again. Right thing. Once I muttered, wrong thing. The other argued. The coin never stopped spinning. Batman didn't meet his eyes. A voice followed him as he passed the next cell. Riddle me this. Edward Nygma called out, smug, even behind glass. It belongs to you, but everybody else uses it more than you. Batman didn't answer. He already knew the answer. Which is your name. The air grew heavier. In the final cell, muscles flexed and stern. Hey, Henry.
Yes.
Strained.
Strain. Bane was doing push-ups, slow, control, resistant, relentless, not resistant, relentless. I will break your. I can't do it. I am burned. You adopted the darkness. I was born, molded by it. I can't. I will break you. Bane said calmly without looking up. Not your body first. Your will. Batman stopped just for a moment, then continued down the corridor towards the recreation room, towards the Joker. The Arkham lights buzz overhead. The doors ahead waited. To be continued. Now we get Nightwing #1 out of the shadow. Bloodhaven was loud, dirty, and cruel in ways Gotham preferred to hide. A rifle cracked in the night. The bullet should have killed the mayor. Instead, it embedded itself in a streetlight, knocked off course by a blue and black blur moving faster than anyone expected. Missed. A voice said lightly. Missed. Deadshot Floyd Lawton lowered his rifle and smiled behind his mask. Nobody misses me. A figure dropped from above, landing hard on the rooftop, with twin Estrema sticks spinning into ready position. There's the first time for everything, Nightwing replied. Deadshot shot again. 3 shots perfectly measured. Nightwing flip, twist, ricocheted off an AC unit. The bullet sliced air where his head had been a heartbeat earlier. He closed the distance fast. Deadshot switched tactics, drawing sidearms, firing with mechanical precision, mechanical precision. Nightwing moved through the gunfire, every step calculated, every motion learned the hard way. Batman had taught him how to fight. Bloodhaven had taught him how to survive. Nightwing slammed a stick into Deadshot's wrist, crack, sending one gun scattering across the roof. The second gun fired once before Nightwing disarmed him, flipped over his shoulder, and drove him into the concrete. Deadshot coughed, laughing. "You're not the Bat." Nightwing leaned in, tightening the restraints. "No." Police sirens well below. "I'm better with people." Deadshot was gone before backup arrived. Okay, so he got away. Nightwing stood at the edge of the rooftop, wind tugging at his simple city lights. Or the police got him, who knows. Stretching endlessly below. This wasn't Gotham. This wasn't Batman's roar. This was his, and Bloodhaven was about to learn his name. Then we go to Batman Dying is Easy number 5. Arkham lower corridor was cold. The lights buzz louder here, like insects trapped behind glass. Batman's boots echoed as he passed the last cell being occupied. Then the screaming started. "I need the mark!" Victor Zsasz slammed himself against the bars, eyes wide, scanning Carver, tally marks. "I need it! I need the mark! Don't leave me unfinished!"
You.
No.
Like I said, wake me up between.
Batman didn't slow. Zaz's voice followed him down the hall, fading into incoherent laughter. Frost kept along the next cell's edges. Mr. Freeze said, perfectly still, creating a small snow globe and gloved hands inside of it. A tiny Gotham Street light, buried in white. A woman's figure stood at the center. Nora, Freeze whispered, shaking it gently. You always liked November. I can't do a Freeze voice. I mean, it's either like deep or something but you always liked November. Batman paused only for a second, then moved on. A what? A squooch, a crunch. Okay, I'm gonna have this go at the same time. We bring in the best villain ever.
A squelch. A crunch.
A squelch, a crunch. Condiment King sat cross-legged on his cot, mustard and ketchup smeared across his uniform as he...
the garbage too.
As he happily ate a sandwich. You want some? He asked cheerfully. November, the great month for comfort food. Is it? Oh yeah, I forgot to say, this story takes place in November. All of this takes place in November. Aside from the Superman and Flash stories, which would take place in the springtime. I don't know what year. But the JLA one is the one that starts the November thing. Even though it isn't mentioned, that's just how I'm making the timeline be so far. Batman passed without acknowledgement. I mean, why would you want to acknowledge this man? A low, confident chuckle came next. Roman Sionis, black mask, stood at his bars, mask gleaming on a fluorescent light. You didn't beat me, he sneered. You inconvenience me. I'll be out in a day. And when I am, we're picking up right where we left off. The way I imagine Mask's voice being like that gravelly voice like this, like, I want him dead, like, head on my wall type of dead. Anyways, Batman didn't answer. Black Mask smiled, flattered, just a little. Paper shuffled softly. Julian Day, counterman, sat at a desk covered in notes, dates, circle receptions. November, he muttered. Veterans Day passed. Thanksgiving's coming. 30 days total this year. Always important to count. He looked up as Batman passed. Death loves holidays. They give meaning. To be honest, I added Julian in here just because it's November. And I was going to make it December, actually, originally, but decided not to. Batman kept walking. Laughter echoed down the hall, booming, theatrical. Maxie Zeus stood atop his bed, arms raised. Fools! He thundered. I am a god among insects! Zeus command you, Batman was already gone. God damn, I can do a good Maxie voice. I'm like, fools! I am a god! The smell hit before the voice. Professor Pig pressed his face against the glass, eyes shining with manic delight. My Dolatrons, he sang softly. I want them back. We were so perfect together. In the circus. Oh, the circus needs me. Everyone needs a family. Oh, you see, I like Pig, so I try and make him creepy along with the. Since I just like it when he makes the noise of a pig. As you can tell, I played Arkham Knight a lot. I had. And that's where I know Pig from, along with Deacon Blackfire, who may or may not be in a future story. But remember, if you're confused about this next part, about how's Oswald in Arkham and why, I don't have a canon reason for why, but how is, this is 2 months after Batman took down the people working for him who got sent to Blackgate. So either in my mind, Blackgate got shut down and they all moved to Arkham, or Blackgate is way too full, so they have to send them to Arkham. Because Penguin, okay, while Mask is a crazy mobster, because he's literally crazy, Penguin is just a normal mobster in my most of my universes. I don't know if I'm going to change that later on with this version of him, because like I said, my normal version of the Mad Hatter isn't a pedophile. He's just very obsessed with Alice in Wonderland. He does kidnap women, but not like literal kids. And the reason he kidnaps them isn't really anything sexual. It's more of a possessive relationship. Like how he needs Alice, but not in a sexual way. This version of him, though, isn't that good. But I had to make it be more darker to fit this universe, since this is a dark universe when it comes to the Batman stuff. Unless if it's Nightwing. If it's Nightwing, most of the time his stories won't be dark in this universe. Anyways, back to the story. Batman didn't look back. The corridor widened. The air grew heavier. At the far end sat Oswald Cobblepot. The Penguin gripped the bars, face red with fury. You destroyed my iceberg lounge! Wah, wah, wah. He hissed. That place was mine! You humiliated me! Wah, 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 wah. As you can see, he's like the sexy Penguin. Batman stopped. Cobblepot leaned closer. This isn't over! I don't know if I'm going to change the voice or continue to do voices later on. Actually, fuck it, my throat's hurting. Oh, God. And we still gotta do Joker. And I gave all these people so much fucking voice acting. Also, I'm not doing the women voices because I can't do a female voice. So I'm just gonna talk out in my normal voice when it comes to a female character. Anyways, Batman turned his head just enough for one word to land like a verdict. It never is. He continued the corridor, down the corridor, deeper into Arkham towards the Joker. The corridor beyond Oswald Cobblepot's cell felt older, like Arkham itself remembered every man who had ever streamed within its walls. Batman walked on. Helfen. Okay. Batman, behind reinforced glass. I know that's Carl, but I don't know what his last name is. I'm going to... This is an older Batman villain from like the...
Carl Helfern.
Helfern. Dr. Death, Carl Helfern, sat calmly, hands folded, eyes sharp, desperate. Despite the years, one of the oldest files in Arkham, one of Batman's first true monsters. You get tired, Batman? Helfern asked softly. I did. That's how I ended up here. Batman didn't answer. Laughter and shouting collided in the next cell. Tweedledee and Tweedledum and Tweedledee stood nose to nose, both clutching different books. We're reading this one, Dum shouted. No, we're not, Dee yelled back. You read too slow. So in my version, they look similar, but the only way to tell them apart is the voice. And that's like when you get them like really mad, because if not, then you can't tell them apart. Batman passed them as they continue arguing, oblivious to his presence. In the next cell was quiet, too quiet. Dr. Kirk Langstrom remembered this is after he got caught eating that cop, who was already dead, sat on the floor in human form, arms wrapped tightly around himself, rocking back and forth. I didn't mean to, he whispered. I didn't mean to. In my version, Kirk is always a misunderstood person who doesn't mean to do shit. As Man-Bat. Batman paused longer this time, then moved on. A familiar, maddening voice chimed out. Oh, tea time! Jervis touched Mad Hatter saying softly, pacing himself. Rabbit's running late. Alice falling down. Such rude guests tonight! And yes, Hatter won't always have the same fucking voice. But yeah, he's crazy. Batman didn't engage. Thank God. Vine strapped weakly against glass. Poison Ivy rose unsteadily, green eyes glowing faintly as she pressed her palm to the barrier. A tendril twitched, then fell limp. Still immune, she hissed, exhausted. Batman walked by her without looking. Hiya, Batsy! Harley. Oh god, I went into a joke a little bit there with that. Harley Quinn leaned against her bars, waving fuck it. Okay. This is why I don't do voices that much.
Enthusiastically.
Did you miss me? I can't do a woman voice. That's the best I got. Did you miss me? I hope you got all my love letter. You see, I can't do a woman voice. Anyways, did you miss me? I hope you got all my love letters. Batman didn't slow. Ivy scoffed from her cell. Wow, Harley. He walked right past you. That's another man in Arkham who doesn't respect you. Shut up, Ivy, Harley snapped, pouting. Flames flickered faintly behind the next door. Garfield lens grinned through scorched goggles. All I need is a spark, he rapped. Then I'm out of here. Batman didn't doubt it. The final cell buzzed with artificial light. Derry Drury, how the fuck you say his name now? It's one of my favorite villains, and I always don't know how to pronounce his first name when I do this shit.
Drury Walker.
Drury Walker killed him off, stood frozen, staring up at the flashing light, like it was a beacon calling him home. Beautiful, he murmured. It's beautiful. Batman walked past. The corridor ends in darkness. Every monster accounted for, every secret locked away. No one knew who Batman was. They only knew what he did to them. Well, that's a lie, because sooner or later, we're going to find out in this same storyline that someone may know who Batman is. Somewhere ahead, behind reinforced doors and padded walls, the Joker awaited. We don't get to him until part 8, I believe. Anyways, number 7. Arkham grew thicker with voices, anger, madness, faith, hunger. Batman walked on. From behind steel bars, anarchy paced furiously, chains rattling as he pointed at the cameras. The system is corrupt, he shouted. You enforced it. You're just another mask protecting the lie. You see, with him, I don't have to do an actual voice since, well, he's a normal person, basically, aside from an anarchist. He doesn't have a raspy voice like Mask or Lens from Fire Damage. Or a messed up voice from Oswald because of the way he was born. Or even a voice like the Joker or someone. Shut. A high-pitched, frank voice followed. Scarface? The ventriloquist screamed, clawing at the empty space between them. They took you from me! He can't talk without me! Scarface needs me! Batman kept moving. Something shifted. Wet, heavy, Clayface, Basil Carl pressed his face into a mockery of a smile against the glass. Soon, Batman, he says, voice echoing unnaturally. I'll have the role of a lifetime. Batman's reflection warped in the clay. Film reels lay scattered across the next cell. Burt Weston, film freak, ripped at them in fury. You ruined my movie! He screamed. It was perfect! Perfect! And yes, I know, it's very funny having the two film people in DC be one after another. Anyways, Batman didn't answer. Whispered prayers filled the hall. Deacon Blackfire knelt on the floor, eyes closed, hands clasped tightly. Cleanse this city, he murmured. Wash it in pain. Or something like, cleanse this city, he murmured. Wash it in pain. I don't know if I should be calm or loud with him. See, he is a preacher. Batman passed silently. A furious thud. Okay, that didn't break. Oh, thank God. Anyways. Killer Croc, Waylon Jones, slammed his head into the reinforced glass of his cell door. A spiderweb crack spread, small but visible. Croc snarled. Yellow eyes burning. One day, Bat. Batman didn't flinch. At the end of the corridor stood a single reinforced door, white, padded, silent. The Joker's room. Batman stopped. His gloves hand hovered inches from the handle. Behind him, dozens of monsters. Ahead of him, one. The door didn't move. Not yet. Now we get number 8. The door slid shut behind him with a heavy final click. White walls, padded corners, a single barred window looked out over Gotham, the city lights dimmed by November fog. Fluorescent light hummed overhead. The Joker sat shackled to the floor, wrists chained, ankles locked. Guards moved in close, keys rattling. "Careful," he said cheerfully. "Watch the fingers." "Oh, kinky. I like it." "Yeah, get those off of me." The chains fell away. One guard stepped back. "He's all yours." The door closed again. Batman stepped into the room. The Joker stretched his arms. And yes, that was an actual yawn, if you didn't know. I'm tired, like I said. Rolled his shoulders and wandered over to the TV. He flipped through channel static. A sitcom laugh track, breaking news, then shut it off with a click. Silence filled the room. Joker walked to the window, placed his right hand on the bars, and stared out at Gotham. "You know," he said softly, "this moment, it was supposed to take place on the Gotham Bridge, or the chemical plant, or Jerry's abandoned amusement park. It wasn't supposed to end like this." Batman's voice was low, controlled. "What do you want?" Joker turned up close. His skin looked wrong, pale, botched, cracked in places where makeup could no longer hide the truth. "I'm dying," Joker said simply. "Melanoma." Batman didn't blink. I guess that acid bath was so funny after all." "Ah, the night we first met. Oh, my close call, skin cancer." "Yeah, the humor is not lost on me. I guess dying is easy." Batman I forgot. He spread his arms. "I guess dying is easy." Batman answered without emotion. "Yeah, and comedy is hard." I'm adding some improv, if you can't tell, with what I think will work here. He took a step back. "Why am I here?" Joker's eyes lit up. "That's a great question." He leaned forward, grinned, trembling with excitement. "I want you to finish what you started. I want you, Batsy boy, to kill me. Not the cancer. Our legacy is far too grand to go on a whimper." He gestured wildly. "It must be epic. It must be gut-wrenching." Ooh. Batman said nothing. Joker smiled, flattered. "Just a bit." "You have nothing to say," he snapped. "I just told you I'm dying. This is the final confrontation. After everything we've been through, this is our final soliloquy." Did I say that correctly?
Soliloquy.
Oh yeah, I did. Batman turned away. "I don't care about our legacy." He started for the door. Joker screamed, "You're a coward!" Batman stopped. "You won't kill me because you're afraid, not because of your moral code or your one rule. Without me, you can't justify your own existence." Fuck, my throat's gonna hurt tomorrow night at school. Batman slowly turned. You're right, he said quietly. I am afraid. Joker leaned in, breath quieting. I'm afraid of myself. I'm afraid that once I kill, I'll like the taste of it. Batman stepped closer, and then I'll kill every single inmate in Arkham Asylum. Joker frozen. But you need me. Batman continued. Freeze has Nora. Ivy has her calls. Riddler has his puzzles. His voice hardened. But you have nothing without me. Your worst fear. You become your worst fear. Batman leaned down to eye level, being upstaged by everyone here. Here. I'm not worried, Hockey Man. Joker is blue of laughter. Hi, Desperate Furies. I am the king of this asylum. He screamed. See my crown? It sparkles in the bit of glow of twilight. He pointed at Batman, shaking. See, Batsy? I am the one thing you are not. You spent your whole life fighting crime. Night after night, dead sidekick after dead sidekick. His voice dropped to a venomous whisper. And what for? You're utterly miserable, afraid of the one thing that could possibly bring you joy. Batman didn't move. The city lights flickered through the bars. To be continued. Okay, I had to split this into multiple parts. Number 8 I did because it didn't want to write down everything. Anyways, I'm going to stop this video for now because my throat hurts.